low on my end.
Yep. Have to mute that in a second.
What is that?
Look at that.
Y'all hearing that sound in the background? It's like
Peace,
sound like
peace.
water running or something.
Everybody tapping in. We are live. We are here with ZEN'S mind.
Yo, peace. Peace, what's up?
Peace.
Peace.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Dr. Sublime, you sound a little low on my end. Okay, I'll just do my best to try to tune in. I got some noise going on in the background too. That's not helping.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited about this Sunday, family. We got a special guest. Man, it's an honor to have you on here, bro.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, this is great. This is awesome. I really appreciate this this opportunity, to really step back into my my podcast era. I took a hiatus for a while, but I'm glad to be back and I'm glad to be here with y'all. So again, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely, man.
Glad
Yeah, and for anybody that don't know, this brother's been on Brother Rich's channel a couple of times. He's been at the events, and I wish I would have ran into you at the events, man.
Yeah, we were just talking about that off camera, by like how we ran. Well, we almost ran into each other a couple times.
Right.
Then you were at both the events that the gather. You said you're at the gathering of the Masters.
I was at the gathering of the Masters and God Fest.
And yep, the 93rd God Fest. Yep. Yeah, those are great events. Great events. I still got the recordings. I still play those from time to time.
Yeah, man. Yep. So we'll definitely see each other in the future for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh definitely. Oh definitely. Yep. Now that I got the face now too. So.
Did you ever hop in any of the Discord conversations?
For Brother Rich? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was in it.
Okay.
I was in it. Like when it comes to like social media, like for some reason, and this may be like a blockage or something for me, or something I need to work through, or because as I continue to step into like being more well known, like on YouTube and on like Instagram, really putting forth more effort towards like my social media stuff. And I say that because when it comes to Discord and everything, like I'll read everything, but I may not always just reply to everything that's said.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I'm there, I'm watching, I'm paying attention and everything. It's just engaging on that for some reason,
So it gets overwhelming sometimes for sure, because it's just so many people posting. It's just your phone is getting notifications all day.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to I think the next event that Brother Rich said was Egypt. You thought about going to Egypt?
Yeah, I would love to.
Oh yeah, me too. I think about that every day. I'm like, manifest,
Right.
doing all that I can to continue working towards that dream that I have, that goal that I have. That's in 2 years. I can do that. I can manifest something in 2 years.
Yeah. For sure.
So, yep. Yeah, I plan on going to that too. So
that would be great. That would be a great experience and encounter.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's why I want to go. It'd be my first time. First time ever going.
Dr. Sublime just got to take a little bus ride.
Oh really?
Yeah, she's in Kenya, so.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a little bus ride for her.
Let me tell you, it's a little bus ride. Trust you me. the continent is so far bigger than that they make you to believe. I think I would have to take a bus and a train.
Yeah, bus and train.
Yeah, to get it there.
Yeah,
To get
yeah,
there.
Yeah, I definitely had to correct myself. Like, yeah, the train too.
yeah. Cause Ethiopia is that was a hour and a half, maybe 2 hours from Ethiopia to Kenya. So I can imagine Egypt is a little bit further. It is, right? It's definitely a little bit further than Ethiopia.
Yes, it's further over because Ethiopia is the border of Kenya. So also you could get it's just a matter of a border, but at the same time too, depending on which part you're going to, the distance is another thing there as again. So you can't just you have to cross through either Ethiopia or you go through Sudan. You don't want to go through Sudan because Sudan have all of that
Mm,
craziness going on with it.
yeah.
Mm,
So you have to find a way around it. But there's always a way. There's always a
Yeah,
way.
yep.
you know, the best way would be if these hierarchies and these so-called people in power would stop being so selfish and greedy. We could just take a portal. You know what I
Take
mean?
the borders down. Yeah,
Yeah,
take
we
the
could
Yeah.
borders
just
down.
we could go through the portal
Take the
and go to
borders
Egypt or
Oh yeah.
wherever. All these
Yeah,
portals
there we
are
go. Yep.
all around the world. You know?
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. But I think they working on that though, right, Dr. Sublime?
Yeah, they're working on trying to move it, but the thing is as long as you still have puppets in power,
Hmm.
it's where because the people want it, but then those that are in leadership, presidents and them, they're the puppets that the elites are using to keep the borders going, keeping the division going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
But eventually, trust you me, eventually it's all gonna be down. No matter
Oh
how
yeah.
much they fight against it, it's gonna be down. It's
Yeah,
gonna
the
be down.
power is shifting. The power is shifting
Absolutely.
right now. Back to the people.
Because
You
now the
know.
people are conscious of who they are. Once you're
Yeah.
conscious that you have the power, you would then turn the table over because before time they put the table on our back and we
Hmm.
lay down, we bend down and just allow them to do whatever. But when we stand up, game over.
I have
You
the
know?
perfect picture. I have the perfect picture. 1 second.
Mhm.
Nice.
You know,
This is in
and
this is in the Emerald Tablets. That Billy Carson wrote. Compendium of the
yeah.
Emerald Tablets. Let me see. Let's see how fast I can find this.
Okay. And so the other aspect of it too is this,
Uh-huh.
with the people waking up and the consciousness of the people, we get out of that power pull of tribes and clans and all that different
Yeah.
stuff too. That's another thing with the
Can y'all
continents.
see that?
Okay, he's showing the picture.
Sorry.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can y'all see
Um,
that?
a little bit.
A
It's
little bit.
oh yeah, yeah, I can see it better on
Okay. It's mostly it's not the words. It's the picture of like the people.
it. Mm-hmm.
So they
Yeah.
have the person. At first they start up like this and with their head down, and then as they slowly learn more about themselves, they fully awaken into like
Yeah.
that opening stance.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the 5-pointed star, the 5-pointed man. So
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
That's what we got to do. Yeah, that's what we have to do, all of us, with our consciousness now, and no longer allowing people to dictate to us who we are, what we can do, what we can't do, how to use our powers, how we can use our powers and stuff like that. And that's what the control is all about, controlling our powers, the powers that
hmm
we have as
Mm-hmm.
individuals, and then the power we have collectively.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
yep,
Yep.
Yeah.
So brother Zen,
yes.
with your
Hold on 1 second.
name.
Can you show that picture again, brother? I'm gonna put you on the center real quick.
Okay, all right, yeah. Let me,
Mhm.
yeah. Let's see. It was,
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good idea, bro. Yeah, put
yeah.
it
I'm
on
gonna,
this.
yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna
definitely.
find it.
That way the chat can see it and
Okay,
the
yeah. Good
screen.
idea. Here it is. Okay, so
Yeah,
Okay, wait. There we go.
Oh yeah, yeah,
There we go. Yep.
yeah,
So you are more powerful than you even know, and they fear the day you discover it.
yeah.
So like, you
That's
can't
true.
even, yeah. So you can't even see the darkest one over there. You know, it's in the shadows completely.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
you awaken into, you know, yourself. That's really it.
Absolutely.
You realize it's realization. You're realizing who you are.
Yeah.
And only you can figure that out. No one
Yeah.
can tell you.
Right.
No one can. They can help you. They can guide you. But you know, it's like Morpheus. I can lead you to the door, but you have to be the one that opens it.
Mm-hmm.
So
You gotta have the will to even want to, and I think a lot of people don't
yeah,
even have that will to even
yeah,
want to elevate. You know.
yeah,
What I, yeah,
yeah.
that's the truth because what I
In
realized is
chat,
a lot of
this
people
this is this is
are
the book he's talking
comfortable.
about.
Oh, yep,
This is the book he's talking about, y'all. So
yep. Compendium of the
definitely go
Emerald
get you a
Tablets.
copy. It's worth it. That's the book he's referring to. Get you a
Mm-hmm.
copy. That's true awakening you talking about, son.
Yeah,
Yep.
so
Yes, yes, sir.
people are comfortable in that place, or they have what they call it a Stockholm syndrome. They
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
but they just don't want to come out of it. And that's a sad,
Mm-hmm.
that's a sad place to be. That Stockholm syndrome. Yes.
It is. Yeah.
Mm,
So, brother
very.
Zen, what got you on your journey? I like to ask a lot of people that, especially with your name being Zen, right? That
Mhm.
means what comes to mind for me is that you kind of already at a place of bliss and of
Mm.
peace. You know, so a lot of us we kind of go through something that that kind of triggered us emotionally or whatever to get us on this journey. What got you on your journey and what got you to a place of peace already?
So how I got the name Zen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I was born in '97. So I grew up playing video games. You know,
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation 2, GameCube, all that stuff. So I had this Tony Hawk game. It was called Tony Hawk American Wasteland for the
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation 2. And in the game, you're a skateboarder. And eventually, as you're like progressing in the story, you meet, it's completely random, like off script, like completely, I don't know, it's out of nowhere. It's like a fifth dimensional being. Like you can tell that this thing doesn't belong right here, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because like the graphics are different compared to everything else. Um, so in that game, there had this master. His name was Master Zen, and he taught you how to run up walls. He taught you how to do a front flip. He taught you how to do a back flip. And for whatever reason, you know, this is like 10-year-old, 12-year-old me. I love that. I love that title, that Master Zen title for my entire life, you know.
Okay, okay.
And
Right.
then I played another game, like fighting games. My tag would be Master Zen. Then I eventually, after I graduated high school, I decided, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be Master Zen. I'm just going to be Zen. So that's how Zen came to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now I
Okay.
have Legend of Zen. And Legend of Zen came about. That's my Twitch where I stream my video games and everything. Me and my girlfriend, we were just talking, and I was trying to figure out how to do a name because this was like a year or two after COVID. So, you know, everyone's at home. We're trying to find another thing to do, you know, make money in different ways. So I was like, I love playing video games. I'm just going to stream me playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
So, talking to my girlfriend, and then she says, well, you love Legend of Zelda, so do Legend of Zen. So I was
Classic.
like, oh, okay. That's great. That's great. And now, you know, now that I'm like, you know, really understanding, now that I can see where the pieces are falling, the picture of the puzzle is becoming more and more complete. So now I can decipher. So Legend of Zen, even though that might have been at the time a spur of the moment. Okay, yeah, sure, I love Zen. Let's just do that. Now this is the legend of Zen, the legend of me, the legend of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is my story of how we were talking about this before, of the legend, you know, of how the story of the legend, the story of Zen. So this is the story of Zen in two parts, the story of Zen and as I am, and the story of how Zen becomes. You know, we were talking about like Zen being bliss, Zen being, you know, it's I don't want to say, I think it's like a religion, but you know, it's the traditional study system of what it is. You know, I felt so attached to that title, to that name, that I incorporated that. Also with Zen, I'm a Libra. So Libra, as we all know, is about balance. So balancing the dark and the light. And that's what Zen does. Zen balances the dark and the light, you know, just naturally, because that's tranquility, that's peace. To get there, you have to balance first, and then you will, you know, you start to experience that, and you start to incorporate that, and you start to become that. So that's Legend of Zen. So this is now would be Zen's Mind, which is my YouTube. So Zen's Mind came out. I can't even remember, to be honest. Even though this is my most recent name, and I can't ever remember how it happened. It was just like it just felt, it was just like, yeah, Zen's Mind, whatever. I don't know. Like, it's the mind of Zen. I've always thought, you know, this is just, yeah, you know, it's just my mind. It's just my mind, just my thoughts, my everything. You know, this is really the first Hermetic law. All is mind. This is really the mind, your creation, you know, really stepping into that. And I'm just using YouTube. I'm just using modern day technology to really drill that in. So like Zen's Mind, as you create a YouTube channel saying Zen's Mind, well, that's that, you know, that's just how it is.
You know what's so awesome about that? It's like you went from the body to the spirit, right?
Okay,
because
cool.
your mind is not part of, like, it's operating the body, but your mind is forever. Your mind is your consciousness. So Zen's Mind graduated from the Legend of Zen. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you still operate those titles, but the Legend of Zen, and you know, just being Zen was kind of, you know what I mean? It's kind of like just a part of the you in the Zen space. And then now Zen's Mind, which is like the mind's eye. That's like, you've elevated to a point where, you know, your mind is, you know, just it's just itself, you know, and it can operate these other vessels. However, that's what it really gets down to.
Yeah.
And you know, I had to put this picture up for the chat, man. This picture of you just, I was like, that was just epic. I don't know why.
This one?
It just spoke to me.
Hey, I have some pretty good ones. Yeah.
that spoke Zen's Mind to me. So
really?
Yeah. I was like, man, that just looks like, you know, what his name is, you know, representing.
Yep. And, you know, I always got the athletic wear on. You know, I'm always all about motivating people, not only mentally, but physically. And it's really funny because normally I say, I normally work out with my friends, and I'm like, well, when you book a session with Albert or Zen, you get two workouts. You get a physical workout, and then while you're physically working out, I'm also talking to you, which is going to be working you out mentally, spiritually. So, you know, and it's so, you know, life has just been life, and, you know, it's the great unfoldment. It's an unfolding of who you are. And you're like, wait a minute, you know, it's like a book. Oh, I wonder what the next chapter is going to be. What's the next chapter of my life?
Yeah.
If this is where I'm at now, you know, all that's left are smiles. You know, there's nothing else to do but smile. That's why. Okay, wait up. Listen to this. This is coming to me because I've been listening to this recently. I've been listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire. Fantasy. That's my song of the year. And they say in the song, oh wait, what do they say? This is perfect. It's at the end of the song. Now I can't think of it. Oh man, and I don't want to play it because of copyright. But I may have to look up the lyrics. I'm so sorry. I listen to this song every day.
We're gonna listen to it later too. Now that you done mentioned it.
Yeah, please do. No, please listen to that. So that's for me. That's the song of my year, of this year.
I hear you. Yeah, mine was Flowers, man.
Flowers.
Flowers by Miley Cyrus. I was just taken back when I heard that.
Okay, I have to
Man,
get. I don't think I've heard that one before.
oh man, that's
Okay, here it is. I'm sorry.
No one can love you better than you love yourself. No
Oh
one,
yeah,
not your wife,
yeah,
not your
no,
husband, not your nobody's gonna love you better than you love yourself, man.
yeah.
And that was powerful to me.
And then here are the lyrics that I was saying earlier. It was they say, "As you glide in your stride with the wind, as you fly away, give a smile from your lips and say, I am free. Yes, I'm free. Now I'm on my way."
Mm.
So they're saying, give a smile from your lips and say, I am free. Yes, I'm free. Now I'm on my way. You know, this one little section right here is the reason why, like, I listen to this song over and over again. It's the message is great. And, I like to remind myself, because you have to remind yourself every single day. That's putting in the work, working on
Yeah.
yourself. It's a
Facts.
daily thing. It's a daily task.
Yes.
And it's
Mankind is
perfect.
naturally forgetful.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
why.
Yep. You got to do it over and over again until you're like, it's like driving.
Yeah.
I was listening to Brother Rich's podcast. Him and Brother Yosef were talking about reincarnation and past life baggage. And they were saying, you're driving, and right when you drive for like an hour and a half, and then you next thing you know, you're already home.
Mhm.
It's like, what happened to the whole session of me driving? Like, I was just dazing in and out.
Mhm.
And I do that when I'm driving too. And I'm like, how did I get here safely? And,
Right.
so, and if we want to, and this is some science that I've been working on too, because I was actually thinking about this yesterday. I was saying, how can I if I'm not paying attention while I'm driving, how can I get home safely or to my destination safely? It's because of the only way that something bad can happen is if you think something bad can happen. So the more you think of something bad happening, something bad is going to happen. So when you get in that state of like that daze, or that, I don't even know what to call, you're daydreaming, but you're like super tapped out of whatever's around you. It no longer exists. So you kind of like collapse time and space in a way. You're kind of folding the, like, here you are. I remember I'm leaving my house. Next thing I remember, I'm at my home. I mean, I'm at my destination or wherever it is. You're folding that in between, and you're kind of skipping from here to here. So, because that time, yeah. So
It's kind of like the movie Click. He
yep, exactly.
He jumped from. He remembers that, but when he pushed the button, he was just, and yeah.
He was just there. Yep.
Yeah.
He was just there. So yeah.
And even when you thinking positive and something bad does happen, sometimes it's for your greater good down the line.
It's a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a loss, it's a lesson.
Or a blockage from something bigger or worse.
Yep.
I've noticed that too.
Nothing that happens just happens. Everything has a lesson attached to it, or something we need to learn from it, to advance us to our next level, our next chapter. But not even the pricking of your finger. You stick your finger with a thumbtack. That's not by accident. Then it makes you think. Hold on, I still have feelings in this finger. There's somebody else who can stick their finger and nothing even happens. They don't even feel that they were stung. You understand? So I believe that what we call the good, the bad, the ugly, the ups, the downs, the ins and the outs, all of them, ourselves experiencing ourselves in different phases of ourselves.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
each one of us is an experience of source. Each one of us is source experiencing life through us here. So everything we experience, we're experiencing ourselves in all those different dimensions. Because we live in parallel world. We are parallel. Is maybe 100,000 of us experiencing life differently. It's like,
Yeah.
let me see like this. How many of us as siblings grew up in one house, but our experience, personal experience with our parents are totally different from our next sibling experience with our parents. Nobody has the same encounter
Yeah.
in spite of growing up
Mhm.
inside the same house. So
Yeah.
everything that we go through, we
Yeah.
experiencing ourselves in those various ways and forms.
Yep.
And that's interesting. I was just watching Men in Black
Mhm.
3 last night, and they were
Documentary.
talking about that. The one of the aliens, that's what his gift was, to like see multiple realities. And
Mhm.
That's
they were
my
Wow.
just
favorite
kind of
one, bro.
pointing out, yep, they were just kind of, he was just saying like, well, that might happen in this reality, or it might not happen in this reality. Depends on if he eats that slice of pie or not. Like, it was just crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Facts. Just like, my favorite part in the entire series, well, documentaries, I call them now. These most of them are not movies; they're documentaries. But
That's a good
in
point.
the Avengers series, right, in the Infinity War, Doctor Strange was sitting there and he's like, it's like, how many alterations did you
Mhm.
do? How many, you know what I mean? How many
Yeah.
versions did you
Yeah.
do? And he said something in the trillions,
Yeah.
billions or something. And it was like, wow, he just was sitting there and his head
Yep.
was spinning and going around. And he was going through all these simulations where they battle this guy. And he was like, there's only one way we win this. It
Yep.
was
Only
like,
one out of
yeah,
trillion. Yep.
that was crazy to me. Like, I love
Yeah,
that. I love that type of
good
stuff.
point. That's
But
a good point.
yeah, we definitely got to look at things differently now that we're getting into this journey, because I'm seeing a lot of people go backwards, man. And there's
Mhm.
people that I'm talking to. We've had conversations, and they're going back to the church. Like, I had to throw my hands up, but I'm like, what is going on? And I think they honestly they can feel the shift happening, so they're sending
Mhm.
out certain frequencies that's affecting certain people that are not avidly and vigilantly on their journey, like how we're on our journey. I know they couldn't get us with that, going
Mhm.
back into the church. There ain't nothing wrong with reading the Bible. There's nothing wrong with believing in the ultimate creator God. However, going back to the church is crazy to me. That's crazy to me. I don't understand that. But we got to pay
Mhm.
attention to these documentaries they're putting out. You know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the
Yeah.
thing is about entrapping us back again and pulling you back into that cycle, into that hamster wheel. That's what it's all about. So a lot of people that are going back, excuse the terminology, but even the very Bible says it's like dogs returning to its vomit. You
Mm.
understand? This is something you
Hmm.
vomited out, something you walked away from, and then you turning back and going back to it. Because why? It's a comfort zone at the same time too. It's
Hmm.
Mhm.
um, familiarity. A lot of times people are afraid to step out into the unknown. And then because we're in the age of Aquarius, the age of all this information coming out, the
Mhm.
information has become overwhelming.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why for me, I always tell people when I do my TikTok, be gentle with yourself because you're on a journey.
Mhm.
That's the thing. That's the key. If you can be gentle with yourself and understand or understand, overstand you're on a journey, you're going to go back into the loop. You're going to be pulled back into the warp. You're going to be pulled
facts,
back into the cycle, the
In a cycle.
psychosis.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
facts. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
it's crazy because I feel I've seen 1.5 people. I say 1.5 because this person I think is just having a little bit of anxiety for things not seeming to fluctuate the way they foresee it or whatever. But honestly, it brings me back to this documentary. If y'all haven't seen it, I suggest you watch it. It's called The 13th Floor, right? And
Mhm.
in
Is it
it,
a scary movie?
No, it's not
No,
scary. It's sci-fi.
sci-fi.
You
Okay.
know, well, I should say it's science
All
documentary. I
right.
don't like sci-fi anymore. I just say sci-fi to connect with the people who understand the word. But science fiction, this movie is definitely not fiction.
Yeah.
Uh, and we see proof of that in the Mandela effect, which is, one of the topics we got coming up soon too. But in the 13th floor, there's a simulation. These guys build a simulation and they're able to enter the simulation and operate, 1937, but they're living in 1997 or something like that, or, you
Hmm.
know, or 2000 or something, right?
Yeah.
And then come to find out they were simulations also. So there was
Mm.
another level above them. So
Above
it's
them.
like,
Mm.
yeah, it was just insane. And like watching it really opens your mind, especially when you're on this journey, opens your mind up to the realization that we really live in a simulation.
Yeah.
Because when we look at like the video games, it's like, okay, they are experiencing pain, sickness. Like if you play a survival game, they go through the sicknesses, they go through
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you got to feed them a
Yep. Yeah.
certain
Feed
way, or
them.
they get
Yep.
fat, or they, you know what I mean? Like you got to
Yeah.
keep
They're
your
the
weight
ones
up,
going through
energy.
it. Yeah. Yep.
Right. So
Yeah. We're
the
not even feeling
simulation's
that.
going
That's a good
through all
point.
that. Who's to
Yeah.
say that blood's not real to them? Like
To
we
them.
see it as
Hmm.
not real or just a game. And like this guy was
Yeah.
playing
That's a
God in
very
the
good. I never thought
simulation,
about
and
that.
he had to be stopped because he was messing with their lives. Like he was going in and just doing whatever, not just having the experience. He was going further and doing things and making himself to be a god in their world, which is not, you know what I mean? It was kind of messed up. So
Yeah.
it was crazy how the Allstate dude, that's Allstate Stan, are you in good hands?
Are
That
you?
guy,
Yeah.
he was in the movie and he said, what he said, do me a favor, when you get back to wherever the hell it is you came from, leave us alone down here. And that resonated with me for a while, because
Mhm.
I look at that like that's what's happening right now. We're
Yeah.
starting to wake up, and we're leave us alone down here. Let us do what we need to do. You got these higher ups that just want to control everything. And this is why we have no fly zones. You're not allowed in this area, and it's not because it's gonna let us know the truth. Or you can't go behind the ice wall. You'll be arrested if you enter this facility, and it's not because they want to keep their military secrets secret. It's because they don't want you to wake up and realize that, oh, there's a portal. I can go from Arizona to Egypt in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
That'll
the thing is,
expand everybody's mind.
Yeah.
but yeah, the thing is in that too is who are we listening to, even in terms of persons among us. Like what's the son, the young man named Kendama, he's saying that they're not like us, but they could be in our same skin or whatever tone, but they're still not like us. Not like us doesn't necessarily mean skin color. Not like us means in terms of frequency, in terms of
Hmm.
vibration, in terms of belief
Absolutely.
system, in terms of where you're going in your mindset. You understand? And so, too many times we get caught up in clicks and following because they look like us, they sound like us, but they're radioactive. They're killing you. They're
Mm-hmm.
sucking your vibration. They're sucking your energy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
facts. I was
so
just watching. Oh, go ahead, guys.
yeah. So in all of that, it requires us to be true to ourselves first and foremost. Be anchored in you, in which you believe, in your journey. Because yes, all of us might be heading in the same direction, but we all have our individual lane that we walk in. Sprinters, the 100. You can't cross over into the next person lane. You gotta run your lane.
Hmm.
Facts, facts. Yeah, I just want to piggyback off of the "they not like us" statement, because I was just watching a conversation with a lady named Amanda something, but she considers herself a radicalist. So the title of the video was "One Radicalist versus I think like 20 conservatives or something." and these was other melanated people, but just the difference in her mentality. Her mentality is more like ours, versus their mentalities is more kind of intertwined in the system, and it just made me just remember that again. Just because we the same ethnicity or whatever, the difference in mentality separates us by light years. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Like they was like super for the system and just trying to keep the system going. And she kind of, she was doing her best to explain to them things we need to change and break down. And but just those difference in mindsets was just, I needed that reminder, because I kind of get caught up in there myself, or my people. But no, just because we look the same, that don't mean we people.
Because we skin folks don't mean we kin folk.
Exactly.
Right.
So you got to pay. See, sometimes people could be speaking what you want to hear, but sometimes you got to pay attention to what is not being even said, the undertone and what is in terms of what is being said. Am I saying this to cause division, or am I saying this to multiply? Am I saying this to subtract, or am I saying this to add? Because everybody has a reason why they're doing what they do. Whether it's just for a following, to develop a following, or to put information out there, or to cause strife. We know among ourselves, we've always had sleeper cells. We always had gatekeepers. That's what the Bible was, the biggest gatekeeper. The Quran is the biggest gatekeeper. You understand? All of these different things were gatekeepers to keep us in this war against one another, not understanding that everything that we believe was handed to us by a certain set of people and beings. That's it.
Yeah. Sister, I love that.
Stay focused is my advice. Anyway, our guests. Let us hear some more from our guests.
Yes,
Hey. Yeah. No, I 100% agree. 100%. A lot was said just now.
You know what?
I'm kind of speaking. Yeah, what? What's up?
I was gonna say, if you don't have anything to say right now, I got a question for you. You got something
go ahead.
on your mind? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
Let's
get the juices flowing. Let's get
them flowing. Let's get them flowing. So I'm just super intrigued by your name.
Yeah.
For one reason, again, it's the Zen. I see why it gravitated to you as a child, and that's a good thing that it did, because that just means that this was always in you. I feel like majority of us on this journey, it's been in us for a very long time. We just needed something to kind of to water that seed. So you gravitate toward the word Zen at a young age. It just says to me that you on the right path, and you've been on the journey for a long time.
Yeah.
So my question is, with your name being Zen, we kind of talked about this on our platform before. How would you handle a situation? Maybe somebody is coming towards you aggressively. Are you still Zen, or do you kind of go to your dark side a little bit and turn up, or do you keep it Zen? How do you handle that?
So, okay. So, if this is a situation, so first you gotta so I'm an analyzer. So I like to take things from multiple levels, from different perspectives. So this is a situation where a guy is approaching me, and I have to defend myself. What's the J-Hook, is that's just someone just coming at me and I got to defend myself?
Yeah, not even necessarily defend yourself, but like somebody's just super rude, super nasty, super just aggressive for no reason.
Yeah. Okay.
You still trying to keep that Zen.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see what you mean now. Yeah, definitely. I don't keep Zen. Zen is just who I am.
Okay.
Even when I'm, we were talking about this earlier, balance, Zen is balance. So on the scales, there's dark, and also on the opposite end of the scale, there's light. So sometimes, the scales shift. So if a situation came up and I had to defend myself, or someone's being aggressive towards me, I would do my best. I would stay calm. I would stay cool, calm, and collected. I would try to figure out the situation. If there's a misunderstanding, I would try to figure out, if there's a misunderstanding, because I'm very confident in my ability to defend myself.
Okay.
We were talking about this. I mentioned it like before we went live. I do jujitsu.
Nice.
So I know how to protect myself. So I don't fear. I'm not afraid of someone approaching me because I have the knowledge, because I know how to defend myself. So that gives me options. Now I have different options and different perspectives and different angles that I can tackle this one situation in. So if I have to defend myself, yes, I will. Because like, say, someone's pushing my friend around, if someone's pushing my friend around, that's cool. Like, hey, you need to chill out, back up. Someone's pushing my fiance around. That's a completely different story. You may not even I may not even open my mouth, and I'm coming right behind, taking you down, choking
Right.
you, making sure you pass out so you're not harming anybody. Then I would leave. So yes, it's knowing the situation, and this is just the way that my mind works. This is just who I am. And for a long time, I ran away from it. From a long time, I said, I need to act this certain way because other people are acting this way. But,
Right.
as we all, because this, like you said, this is a journey. There's a journey, and a journey. Sometimes you slip and fall. Sometimes you fall behind. Sometimes you want to stay inside, or you want to just take a nap for the whole day. Just whatever it may be. Learning to balance the restfulness on the journey, because there are rests in the journey. Because if you don't take a rest, then you're going to tire yourself out. You're going to end up hurting yourself. All these different things. So I say that to say, this is the way that my mind thinks. And I just tackle things from a more articulate and more like a scientific way, because everything is science to me. I have it means something to somebody. I did it. I completed school. I have a bachelor's degree in computer science and a minor in psychology. So in a way, I'm a computer scientist. So I've always been very analytical. And to me, there's always more than one answer to a solution to a situation. So that's how I would answer that question.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree. And
Exactly what I was going to say. You sound like you're analytical.
Yeah.
yeah, I would agree. I say all the time, I think that the ultimate goal is for us to be completely in control of our emotions, and that's how I like to try to handle situations
Yeah.
too. Take a step back, breathe first, calm down, be cool, calm, collected, like you said,
Yeah.
and handle the situation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's important too.
Yeah.
To piggyback off of Jay Hooks's question about your name again, we gonna be on your name for pretty much
That's
already.
cool. That's
Um,
cool.
but you mentioned something in a past podcast, a past interview
Mhm.
with Black Magic 363, and you had mentioned your father, your dad, was
Yes.
a big influence in how his laser focus,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
And I wanted you to expand, because that might explain why you was able to come up with this name at such a young age.
Mhm.
Can you enlighten us and elaborate a little more on the type of dad you had, for those of us who didn't, have a dad like
Mhm.
yours?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, my dad was great, is great, was great, is great, will always be great. um so yeah, growing up, um let's see how to say this. Growing up, I had a mom, but I didn't really grow up with my mom too often. I didn't really see her too often. She ended up passing away. So my dad was really like the only one that I always had. He was my rock. We moved, houses and everything, just moving around and everything. But he was always there. So and okay, so this is also an important thing to note, is because I always didn't feel this. Well, I've always loved my dad, but the way that I think now, why is my dad yelling? Why is my dad, throwing things? Why is all this stuff happening? Growing up, you don't know that. You don't realize that. You're not able to decipher why this is happening. But as you grow up and you start reflecting on yourself, and you really start doing the work, you start working on yourself, then a whole new perspective that you never knew existed shows itself and presented itself. So my dad, the way that he did things ended up working perfectly for me, because remember, we choose our parents in this lifetime. We choose everything. We have the blueprint, we have the piece of paper, we have whatever it is, we're thinking everything. I want this to happen in this exact way, in this particular way. I want this person to be my parent. I want to go through this experience as a child and experience this exact thing. So the trauma, the shadows, all the work that we have to do on ourselves, like how we were saying again, happens for a reason. So so I picked him because he would be the one that'll show me how to be laser focused. The laser focus that he had was towards me, was protecting me, was raising me, was making sure that I had food, making sure I had shelter, home, anything, clothes. I went to a great school, education, all this stuff. That was his laser focused. And it was, and it allowed him to experience the life that he also wished to live.
Wow.
So, yeah. I hope that answers your question.
You have no idea, brother, because I have a son, so I'm writing this down. I'm taking notes.
Okay.
And everything you said, it sounds like, because the things like, just from what I'm implementing in my son now, what I'm instilling in him, and not sending him to school, you know what I mean? Homeschooling him, or unless I can find, I know there's some schools out there that are worthy to teach him, but that's a different, that's going to be when my wealth aligns with my mental, you know what I mean, when
Yeah.
that
Oh
comes
yeah.
about,
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean. But for now, homeschool is on the horizon, and it's because I don't want them to indoctrinate him with anything crazy. Like, I'm making sure he knows and believes in magic, that
Yeah.
magic is real, that you create the magic, you are the superhero, you know. And I haven't even told him, because he's only 4. I haven't told him that he's also the villain. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I believe, from experience, that from my own experience, that if I wait to tell him that he's the supervillain, then it'll make sense better, because his brain will be a little more developed. He'll be a little bit older, and it'll make more sense then. But right
Mm-hmm.
now, he just needs to know all the good stuff. Because he's learning the negative stuff that he on his own. The
Yeah.
whining, the I can't have my way, or this.
Yeah.
I mean, he's learning all that stuff. So I want him to learn that gradually, and then when I hit him with the truth, it'll make a lot more sense to him, in my eyes anyway. So I'm taking notes from other dads, man, because that's what we need to do. That's how we're gonna
Yeah.
really create a different world, and it'll be a utopia or an Elysium type of environment where Wakanda, like, they won't, those other people won't be able to just get through, because their frequencies cannot get through the force field. It's not that they're not allowed in there; their frequency does not match the same frequency that that universe, or that field, or that particular place is operating from. And I
Yeah.
truly believe that that's how we have it here on Earth. When we enter a different frequency, like the frequency the tribe is on, the frequency you're on right now, is
Mm-hmm.
how we're able to operate where we're able to operate right now, you know?
Yeah.
So that's
And
why.
no one can restrict that, no matter
Right.
how hard they try.
Right, exactly.
Because we
And that's
wouldn't be
how the tribe,
experiencing it right now.
yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's how the tribe has been set up. Like we all manifested this from a spiritual realm. We did this from long
Yeah.
ago. This has been preordained, pre-written, and we noticed that when we all came together and we started having these conversations, we realized there's something else guiding this. You know what I mean? There's
Mhm.
something else that's behind this. It's us, but it's coming from a higher place, from a source that, you know, we just didn't realize, and we've come to call it Captain Planet,
Mhm.
and we call ourselves the Planeteers, but in reality, it's us just projecting how we want things to be. And so that's why certain people have entered this tribe or been a part of this tribe, and they're no longer here with us because their frequency didn't match. It had nothing to do
Yeah.
with us saying, oh, you're not allowed here, don't come back here anymore. We've never said that to anybody. They just know their frequencies aren't high enough to be here, period. And we've
Mhm.
gone through a few. We've gone
Yeah.
through a few, quite a few. And now we're here.
Yeah.
We've been locked in for quite some time now. And it just goes to show that you got to have the right frequency in order to enter that wormhole or force field or
Yeah.
whatever it is, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know y'all asked a question earlier. I wanted to go back to that previous question. It was the one like what started my journey and everything. Because now I can give a little bit more background, if that's okay,
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
how I started on all this stuff. Back in 2022. So, like I said, I'm an analyzer. So, how my mind works, I have a timeline in my mind, and ever since 2022, I can remember almost every month since, like, perfectly.
Mm.
So, 2022 is when I really started learning. Well, okay, maybe not 2022. Around like 2019, when I had it was like it wasn't my first job, but it was like a really good job that I had. I was working there full time. I first started had AirPods and everything, and during my job, I was able to listen to music or whatever podcasts. So I decided to listen to Alan Watts. So from
Mm.
2019 all the way until 2022, I was listening to Alan Watts 4 out of 7 days for like 8 hours straight, almost 5 days a week at my job for 8 hours straight. So imagine like knowing what we all know now. Imagine like what that'll do to you over the course of like 3-4 years.
Mm.
So imagine that. So 2022, I had a injury at my job. I thought it was an injury. I thought I had like a hernia or something, but nothing ended up having, like, the doctors couldn't find anything. Nothing was wrong. But then I was like, well, why am I experiencing this pain? So that was in 2022. So I had to slow down. So I was also doing jujitsu back then. I had to stop doing jujitsu, and I had to really, I had to stop lifting boxes because at my job I was lifting boxes and everything. So I had to stop lifting. So I had to really take it slow. So this is July of 2022. And from July of 2022 until October of 2022, I started meditating. So that's when I started my meditation stuff. So are y'all familiar with the Monroe Institute, the Gateway Tapes?
I'm not.
No.
No.
So it's an institution that was created in like the 1970s or whatever, and they learned about frequencies. So this place would use particular frequencies to get the brain on a particular frequency so that you can enter like a lucid state while meditating. And it would allow them to these frequencies, we know what these frequencies do. They allow them to enter a lucid state, and they were able to lucid dream and visualize all these things. So that's what the meditation tapes are. They help you. They have like binaural beats, 2 different frequencies in both the ears. So so yes. So I started meditating, and then I ended up quitting my job in October of 2022, and I had 6 months saved up. So I took 6 months off, no job. I ended up driving. I took a solo trip to Big Bend National Park, saw a true night sky for the first time.
Nice.
That was amazing. Yeah, that was great. And then after like a month, so I had no money. So a month or 2 later after that, no money, no nothing. I have no idea what's going on. I can't get a job. I got a job. I didn't like the job. The job was very energy sucking. And I worked at that job for 5 days. It felt like I worked there for a month. I was like, I have never experienced something like this in my entire life. Like I aged like a month, and I was like, wait a minute. I need to take a step back. So I quit that job. I have no money. I have nothing. Don't have any money for rent. Don't have any money for insurance or any of that stuff. And then a job comes up, and as an ad, in the most particular, specific, unconceived way, this job pops up. And I take that job, and that's the job that I have to this day. So now I'm an independent contractor. So now basically I'm my own boss. So I really incorporated all that stuff. So that's the timeline for the physical. So the timeline for the spiritual is a lot of meditation, a lot of, I a lot of deep meditation. I saw a lot of breath work that you're able to like experience DMT trips just by breathing. So I had experiences like that. So I experienced that. I did that multiple times. Saw some 5th dimension. So I remember this like it was yesterday. A 5th dimensional being at the top of my head, like with a scalpel or with like a doctor, like doing surgery on my brain. And what the beings looked like, they were dark and they had stars in them. So, and they were silhouettes basically. So after experiencing things like that, I found Brother Rich, Black Magic 363. I found Billy Carson. I found 19 Keys. And I listened probably like 5 to 8 hours every single day for those 6 months, and almost every single day since. Just, listen to that stuff, absorbing all of it, really, really being in tune with myself, really incorporating the Zen stuff. So that's why I got back to the Zen. I was like, okay, Zen's mind. Okay, Legend of Zen. Zen, what is Zen? So Master Zen, all that stuff. So yes, that's timeline.
That's amazing, bro.
And I think it's important, it's setting the foundation of knowing of just who we are, where we all come from, because we all come from different areas, but we can all use what we learned on our own specific journey to help each other, to guide each other. Oh, I didn't go through what you're going through, but I went through something similar, and I'm an analytical mind, so I'm able to shift my spirit into your perspective and to really walk in your shoes and really know who you are. Because as a Libra, scales, balance, father spirit, as Sister Myra says. So just really, incorporating that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being able to balance it out. Yeah.
And I'm able to balance it out. I'm able to decipher what's important and what's not important, what's for me and what's not for me.
So I got another question. If anybody else, does anybody else have anything to say to respond to that?
Go ahead.
So you seem very knowledgeable, obviously. What's your thoughts, man? I want to get a little juicy here. What's your thoughts on November? It's all these talks about something big going on in November. What do you think is gonna? I mean, do you have any insight on that? Do you think something is gonna happen? Do you think we're gonna see the Anunnaki return?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Man, okay. So they're saying the mothership is returning, right? Or a spaceship is returning, right? They're saying something. Is that what the November news is?
Yes, I've heard the blackout's gonna happen.
Blackouts, yeah, blackouts. Okay. So I think so what I think is when they give a date to something, a specific date or a specific time, it's going to happen around this area. I think, in my own opinion, that that's just a distraction for when it actually happens. Because if as a warrior, you know, as a fighter, as a man, someone who knows how to defend themselves in jiu-jitsu, there's always the feint, if, you know, if I'm ifing at somebody, I'm not actually going to hit somebody. I'm just, you know, I want to see where are you going to go. So
Right,
what
okay.
I'm going to do, okay, like I'll do a jiu-jitsu example. You use someone else's weight against them. So you'll have your grips, you'll have your grab. I'm grabbing onto somebody. I'll pull them this way. And as I pull them this way, I'm actually, you know, I'm shifting all of your weight, all of your attention right here. So then while you're distracted, you're trying to catch yourself and make yourself not fall, I sweep the leg. So then now I'm sweeping your leg. And then now what that does, well, you put all your weight on your right leg. Now that all your weight's on your right leg, I'm just going to sweep you. So now you're falling on your back. Exactly. Making it easier for me. What they do with COVID. I don't know if we can talk about this, but what they do for COVID. We didn't know that was going to happen. We had no idea. We saw like some pop-ups here and there. We saw them, they were talking about stuff, but you know, like, oh, whatever, you know, whatever. That's just, they always are saying something. You know, they're always saying stuff. They're always trying to distract us and all that stuff. And right when we were distracted, I'm like, wait up, why did this pop up, and now it's over here? You know, so to say that, to say, yes, something can happen. No, something can happen. You know, something may happen, something may not happen. We don't know. I don't think that we're going to know when something happens. You know, also 2001, you know, so we had the 9/11 stuff. We didn't know that was going to happen. That wasn't foreshadowed. I mean, we know about predictive programming, what they do in TV shows, what they do in comic books. Well, they've been doing the alien stuff since what? TV? Since before TV? Comic books? Before that? Books? So it's going to happen because it's been talked about forever. It's never went away, because if you look at the ancient text, it's always been there. And this is also because we got to remind ourselves, we can't be afraid. Do not be not afraid. It's okay to. This is one of my my favorite quotes I wrote down that I had during a meditation. It's okay to be scared, but don't let fear hold you back. So it's okay if someone's punching at you or pretending to punch at you. It's okay to you know, jump. It's okay, but get your balance, get your grounding, get your foundation. All right, this happened. Now what am I going to do? Same thing when COVID happened. Everything shut down. What am I going to do? Well, I was very lucky and I was very appreciative that I still had a job. I was able to work. So I worked my butt off and I saved up to buy a car. That's what I did. You know, like what if something happens to where like it's the big one, the real one, where everything's shut down, where, you know, people are developing superpowers. People, you know, and there's already superpowers right now. People are developing telekinesis. Some people can fly, you know, some people can do this, some people can do that. The dimensions are shifting. We move up to a fifth dimension, you know, where all this, you know, but we have to get through. So we have to get through something first before we're allowed to experience the fifth dimension or whatever it is we choose to experience. There's always that it's a catalyst. Yeah. We have to experience that catalyst, because we go through and we can relate a big catalyst to the micro catalyst that we experience on our daily lives. Someone cuts us off. Okay, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to curse them out, or am I just going to, all right, whatever, move on, whatever happened. Who cares? I don't care. You know, maybe that person cut me off for a reason. Maybe that person in front of me gets into a wreck because of that. And I have more time to react. You know, it's spiritual, it's mental jujitsu. Someone does this, how are you going to respond? You know, what are you going to do?
Exactly. Yeah. It
So
kind of
they're
goes
gonna
back
do.
to the question I was asking earlier.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, something can. I think we're building up to something happening, but I don't think they're gonna tell us when it's gonna happen. Yeah, it's like, because what is there to experience? Blackouts.
That makes sense.
I live right next to New Orleans, so I hope nothing happens. But but if something happens, an affirmation I say is, I am capable of handling anything and everything that is thrown my way. I can handle anything. It doesn't matter what's thrown my way. Yes, I may be scared for a second, but then I'm not going to let fear hold me back. Now, what am I going to do? And, we're the pioneer at men, we're the pioneers. We're the one that has to defend the home. So if something happens, we can't be hiding in the corner. We got to stand up and be the first ones to respond.
Yeah.
What are we can't let fear hold us back. So, and that's why I like being spiritual war, being a spiritual warrior, because think about what the warriors did back in the day when they went to war. You don't think they were scared? They might have been scared, but they had a leader. They had someone showing him and encouraging them and saying everything's going to be okay, because we can adapt to anything that happens. So yeah.
My brother Speck say he a spiritual gangster.
That's the same thing. We said the same thing. Just different words. Same frequency, different words. Yeah.
I say that because I was a gangster, in my past life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, and I say past life because it's in the past.
Yeah.
Not because
and you were living it.
Yeah. Right. Not because it's it's something like
100 years ago. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or in an actual another lifetime. It's just past life, because it's in the past. But I noticed when I was doing my my gang banging stuff, and it's like you said, it's mental jujitsu. I was using that back then, to get my way.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? That's because I had to enforce my rule. I had to enforce my way onto other people. And I wasn't enforcing my way onto myself. And once I started applying that pressure to myself, I realized it was hard and it was painful, man. And this sucks. You know what I'm saying? So I started doing the work, but I'm like, man, this is hard. But I remember doing it back when I was still half and half because of the program, and I was awarded the state. So I didn't have parents really. They were there, but I knew of them, but they weren't there. You know what I mean? So I had to navigate the earth. I had to navigate people differently. And so I had to learn certain skills that, I know that the creator blessed me with the ability to be able to read people, and I could almost read their minds. And I knew not to do this way or not to do that way, and I was a very successful robber, you know what I mean? A very successful robber, never been caught for none of the stuff that I was doing. And I was successful at it because I was able to read, you know what I mean? Like when I went to rob this one guy with the 007, that's a Crocodile Dundee knife, and I went to rob him and I said, give me your money. And he said, no. My spirit knew to walk away.
Wow.
And, my cousin was like, what happened? And he was calling me, you a bee, you a herb, all this different stuff. Like, you scary. And I knew in my heart, no, something about that just wasn't right, man. I wasn't going to go right. And my spirit knew that. And so I just was like, what, you see what I got? Are you serious? You better give me that money. And I've been so successful in the past, but this time he's just like, no. You know, Mexican or Puerto Rican. I don't know. He was Latino. Yeah, he was Hispanic. That man said no.
You said
And I
no.
was like, shit,
You're like, all
well,
right.
okay. All right.
All right.
To me, trying and giving it my all, like I voiced down everything. Give me your money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was like, no.
Hmm.
And then I showed him the knife. I said, yo, you think I'm not playing? Do you see what this is? Yes. So he understood English and everything. Yeah, I see that. You know I can stab you with this, right? Yeah. All right, well, give me your fucking money. No. I was like, oh shit. You know what? I'm gonna just go this way. And I
Yeah.
left it alone. But who knows what would have became of that had I
Yeah.
pushed the envelope. And he had a bag of groceries, you know? And I've been tricked with that. I've been bit by that snake before, you know, and your mind is so in the moment, things can happen. You know, that's how this kid who's deathly afraid of me, that's how he was able to sucker punch me and get away with it. He threw his bag of groceries in the air and I watched the groceries. And then when I came back around, bow, that's when he hit me and then ran. I was so in shock, I couldn't even run to catch him. I was like, mother. You know, and it took me almost a year to catch him again. You know, I held that revenge forever, but it made me think of certain things like, you know what I mean? Spiritually, I've been guiding myself this entire time. I just wasn't aligned. My body, my human conscious brain was not aligned with my spiritual self. So that's why I'm like, you know, I'm a spiritual gangster because
Literally.
I've been a gangster, but now
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
spiritual. You know what I mean? And I know others use it in a different term, in a different way. I'm actually using it in a more literal
sense. Yeah.
But you know, I'm just so grateful to be here, man. I'm grateful to have the people in my life. You know, I'm very blessed to have met you. You know, at
Oh,
that
wow. Thank you.
at the Godfest, man.
Yep.
I was and at the at the mountain. You know, I
Up the
wasn't
mountain
at
too.
I wasn't at the other one. I forgot the
gathering.
name of it because I didn't go to it. That's why.
Gathering, yeah.
But
Yeah, I remember.
you know, it's just it's a blessing. You know, Dr. Sublime, the Empress Queen Oracle P, like they. J Hooks, like they have helped me in so many different ways. They don't even, you know, I don't think they truly understand. I've never actually had the time, you know what I mean? It's like how much time you got, you know what I mean? I'm gonna need about a day for each one of them, you know what I mean? So that's where it's at. It's like, damn, you know, the way they've been able to, and I'm obviously doing the work myself, because if I wasn't doing the work myself, I wouldn't receive any of their messages. You know, when the Oracle said, you know, when you're road raging, even though it's inside your own car, and you're not like getting out, you're not affecting other people, you're affecting yourself. When she was telling me that, I was able to receive it because of my own work. So I do give myself credit, but I'm still grateful entirely to the people that I have in my life right now that was able to help me understand the things that I always knew, I just didn't remember. You know, now I'm starting to remember who I am and how powerful I am. And I'm using that power for good now instead of, you know, evil or bad or, you know, negative things.
I wanna talk
Dr.
on a thing
Sublime,
that
it sounded like you had something brewing over there. I could smell it. I could smell your pot cooking,
Come on.
sister.
the question that J Hub asked in terms of the impending aliens showing up and stuff like that. Remember, they gave us the Bible and they told us that Jesus came and he died and he's coming back again. And so people are 2,000 years later, maybe are still waiting and looking to the skies for a rapture to take place or for Jesus to come back, a Messiah to come back and save them. What you have to realize is, me being in Kenya, I am considered an alien in Kenya.
Mm.
You understand?
Yeah.
And so What they're doing once again is putting propaganda out there, putting things out there to keep you looking for something else coming outside of yourself. You are already here. We are already here. We are the beings that reincarnated, that came back, that reinvaded, that come back to help liberate and enlighten and wake up other people. That's us. What Speck always said is that look in the mirror to change you want to see. You understand? You're looking at yourself. We're looking for aliens outside of ourselves when we are aliens occupying this body.
Hey, facts.
So that's when it comes back to staying focused. It comes back to putting your own mind under captivity to realize that these people are still feeding us to keep on looking somewhere else for someone else to come in and do something when we are the creators of our own reality. You understand? So we're looking at, they're talking about the Anunnakis, the reptilians, the this thing and the next thing. But when you look at yourself, when you look at us, and when we look at various persons that are here among us, we watch the movie Men in Black. You see that they occupy people's
They're wearing
bodies.
masks. Yep.
Yeah. But
Exactly.
we are with us. This space
Yep.
suit is a mask. You'll never see the real me. You will never see the real me. You only see in this suit that I am living in, my energy, my spirit is living in. And that's it. And so the biggest thing for people to do is wake up and realize that, hey, listen, stop looking outside yourself. Stop. They say, oh, signs will be in the sky. Who write these stories?
Right.
Right.
Who do these things? To keep us in this loop.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm grateful. When you talk about many wise men, Zing was speaking, and I said, "He, this young man have an analytical mind." Because I have a friend, but she's a Virgo, but she also has an analytical mind. She thinks things through before she gives you answers, or before she. And I love going to her when I have multiple issues and giving it to her, and then she'll be like, "Okay, now, when she done calculate in her mind, analyze all these different then he comes and give you this, okay, go this way, go the next way, stuff like that. I appreciate people with analytical thinking, but sometimes they can overthink too.
Oh, I've been there plenty of times.
Man, this is a
Think
beautiful
out of
conversation.
doing something. I can imagine what's Zing right now, right? He's like, I want to get back into the podcast mood, but I can see him thinking himself out of it too. A million other things he could be doing other than podcast. But there's a set of people that need to hear your voice. There's
Yes.
a set of people that is being assigned to you.
That's true. You're
Yeah.
yep.
So
Smash that like button, y'all, in
the
the chat.
longer you,
Get
the
in this chat,
longer you
smash that like
delay,
button, y'all.
the longer you delay, the longer you're causing the people that are assigned to you to hear you from coming into the beginning, to coming into the fullness of themselves, to coming into understand who they are. So I am here to encourage you. Get get on top of it. No more procrastinating.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Speaking of procrastinating,
Yes, ma'am.
anybody who needs help with procrastinating, this includes the tribe members here, our guests. Uh, anybody who needs that, make sure. Did we lose the brother? Looks like he's still there, but he just lost picture. But this helped me with procrastination. If y'all need this, please, I encourage you to take a moment. It only take you 3 weeks. It may even get it sooner. I got it sooner than 3 weeks. I just did the full 3 weeks just to kind of go through the motions. But if you need to destroy procrastination in your life, ice cold water every day for 3 weeks straight. You will destroy, you will completely eliminate, you will cure procrastination in your life. I promise you. And you may get it before 3 weeks because it's ice cold and your brain knows it and it doesn't want to feel that pain of that cold. However, if you do it, You do it for about as long as you can stand it. For 30 seconds, if it's 45 seconds, if it's a minute, you do that. And then you get out of there. Next day, you do the same thing. You do that for 3 weeks straight. You will completely destroy procrastination in your life because it's a subconscious thing. It's in the back of our brain. It has nothing to do with you not wanting to do something or you being lazy. It has nothing to do with that. It's a subconscious thing that they planted in us to keep us from moving and motivating. So I learned that trick. And as a matter of fact, I learned that from Tony Robbins. You know, ice cold water will kill your procrastination. Facts. I've done it myself. I no longer procrastinate. When something happens or something needs to be done, I'm on it. I get right on it right away. These ladies and gentlemen in the tribe can tell you, you know, I don't play games. If there's something I can do right now, then I'm gonna do it. If it's something I can't help, it's out of my control, then I gotta wait until the stars align or until the situation aligns better where I'm able to do that thing. But for the most part, I'm on it. So
I just watched a video that said that exact thing too.
yeah,
Ice cold, like every single day, right when you wake up,
yeah,
just dump your head in some into some ice cold water. Yep.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and it's best if you can do it with your whole body. Like if you can get in an ice cold shower, bath, you can do that. That'd be ideal. And you know, it's not like you got to sit in it and bathe in it. You just need to jump in because your brain is not going to want to, especially on the second day. You're going to be like, man, that was cold. You're not going to want to do it. But when you do it, your brain now understands when you say go, it means go. It will no longer hold you back. It will not stop you. You will not come up with excuses for yourself. None of that.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
So I pray that helps anybody in the chat. You know, if y'all feeling this conversation, y'all please smash that like button, man. Let us know because we definitely want to keep things like this going. We don't want to keep it coming for y'all because this is what's needed to really change the world. You're not going to find answers in the church. You know, they just want you to spend that money. You know what I mean?
Shout out to everybody in the chat too. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, appreciate y'all very much. Thank y'all for coming.
Shout everybody out.
Zen's Mind, I got another question for you, man.
Yeah, I have an answer.
So the question was, you know, the power cast.
Yeah.
Now, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I know, but again, assumptions can lead us down a wrong path. But it's good to hear from the horse's mouth, per se, you know, or should I say from the king's mouth, to the people's ears. What made you call it a power cast? Because that's just like what I see when I saw that, and when I hear you talk, like I hear about a lot of the different visions and ideas that, and mine may be different, but I still see that you're looking into the future. You know, what made you want to call it a power cast?
Powercast came to me because it's me projecting my power. So I'm a 5. So 5 is the 5th chakra, which is the voice. So the voice is the 5th chakra. So as me being a 5, I've taken it upon myself to envelop or encapsulate the whole meaning of the 5th chakra. So as the voice, so like I am the voice. So my power is my voice, and I'm casting my voice or my power as I speak. That's it. You know, it's not only when I am doing my power cast. It's not only when I'm on live or whatever. You know, it's me every day. I'm always casting my power. So I mean, might as well call myself that, you know, and it's cool, you know, Powercast instead of podcast. I was like, I don't really want something that's podcast. I want something that's unique to me. Powercast. You know, I love Dragon Ball Z. So they're power levels, you know, all that stuff. Power, you know, yeah. So
and there's 5 letters in the word power.
Well, there you go. So 5 follows me everywhere I go.
Yeah, and you're the fifth.
So
You're the fifth Albert.
yes, yes, I
So
am.
you know what I
That's
mean. That's yeah. It's power
yep.
in synchronizing, and finding the synchronicities in your
In
life.
it. Yeah, and you
Yeah,
know it's
that's
true because
powerful.
it always follows you, when because everyone says oh, I'm a 5, I'm a 4 or whatever, I'm a 3, but we're all the numbers. We're every single number. Just like the zodiac. I say I'm a Libra, but I'm all the signs technically. And it's
Right.
that completion of the 12 zodiacs that makes the 13, which I'm October 13th.
Mm,
So October 13, which is the inverse of Halloween, which is October 31st. So I'm the inverse of Halloween. So my Halloween is on the inside on my birthday. So and this is what I love too, because I love breaking down the science of myself or like the science of others, because everything connects. Everything has a meaning to
yeah.
it. So yeah, that incorporates my power.
Wow,
Yep.
man,
Nice,
that's
nice.
powerful.
Very
No
powerful.
pun intended. That is powerful. So let me
So
ask you this. We always ask
yeah.
our guests this, man, and before we get before we forget, or any of us forget, because we dive deep. Like, as you can tell, we cook
Oh yeah.
on this Sunday, man. Is That's why we call it Sunday dinner, because we be in here cooking.
Dinner
You
at
heard us
at
listen to
one
our
at two.
goddess. Yeah.
We eating dinner early tonight.
Yes, man. It's that Sunday dinner is something real, and I wanna have it for real. You
Yeah.
know, I know we're gonna have it for real one day, where right after our Sunday dinner is actually being cooked while we're doing this, and then you know
Oh.
what I mean.
Hmm.
Some weeks we'll be able to all link up where we're actually sitting in the same room doing
Yeah.
this.
Mhm.
These
Hmm.
Sunday dinners being
Yep.
chefed, or being made up in the outside or something or whatever. But I want to ask you, man, what's your take on the rules of engagement? Excuse me, I sent you the alternate
Yes.
version of it, which was the principles of being. I
Okay.
wanted to know what's your take on that being, like, we took pretty much all the, like, 42 laws of
Of
Mayad, and
my. Hmm.
all the Hammurabi and all that stuff. Like, we condensed it, because a lot of people will have, it's like a scientist when it says, the word for the cat, the house cat, is felinus.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's,
Hmm.
who's gonna understand that?
Yeah.
Who's gonna
Exactly.
even pronounce that,
Yeah.
right? So we condensed a lot of it, but we
Hmm.
truly believe that if two parties are operating from that, and I believe that politics do this.
Hmm.
The politicians do this a lot. They're operating from a place where is their feelings aren't really involved. It's all for a goal.
Mhm.
So, like, the two opponents will go and play golf right after the debate,
Hmm.
and
Yep.
yet we got people out here killing each other, fighting each other. But we honestly believe, if two individuals, or two parties, I should say, are operating from the 9 principles, then it's impossible to come to conflict. You know, what
Hmm.
do you say about that? What do you think about?
Yeah. Well, definitely. Two people working in harmony together. That's definitely what we should all strive for. Harmony with ourselves and harmony with others. But the nine. I'm gonna read. Can I read the 9
Yeah, yeah,
principles of being? Can I just read them out loud? Okay.
yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely.
these are the 9 principles of being. We have one. Everything begins and everything ends with respect. 2, feelings are not facts. 3, words have power. Well, we were just talking about that. So say what you mean carefully. 4, we are no better or worse than any other being in the universe. That one rhymed. Number 5, the actions we perform frequently will define our frequency. 6, Complaining without solutions renders it useless. 7. Faith. Find anything internal that helps. 8. Only in action will your words leave a trail. 9. Practice makes habit, not perfect. Well, first of all, I want to say that I think these are great principles to follow. So
Appreciate you.
all right. Yeah, no, these are great. These are great. Everything begins and ends with this is great. Trying to figure out what to say. Let me see. Which one is my favorite? My favorite is, okay, so we talked about words. So words have power. So say what you mean carefully. Words are spells, words are spells.
Yes.
So the words that we speak, we we put on ourselves. I was going to say hex, but we spell on ourselves. We cast a spell on ourselves by the words that we say. So, and then going to the other one, to number 8, only in action will your words leave a trail. Yeah, exactly. And that brings me to the point of action that we were talking about earlier, action of, doing podcasts and everything. I want to say this because this number 8 brings up a good point. A lot of people say things, or they'll say they'll do things, or they'll say that they are these things. They'll say, oh, yes, I've been working on myself. But then when you watch them, or, you're hanging out with them, you're not really watching them, you're just hanging out, just observing what's happening and everything. You see a situation that happened before and they react the same way. But it's okay to react the same way as long as you catch yourself right after. But then, you don't see someone catching themselves. So that's something that is very, very important. And, I might actually, is it okay if I write that one down and keep that one? I might put that on my board. I might put that on my board. Because from right now is action, action. So like how I was saying, fantasy was the song of the year. I think number 8 should be, for the rest of the year, should be like the quote of the year. Because action is so important. Action is so important. You can't do anything. You can't like manifest or do the things that you're striving for without action, because action is the energy exchange. Not only the money or the currency that we have, it's, spending money, but I can spend money at my house and then on my phone and then not do anything. I can just sit here, order some things, and just, that's it. That's all. That's the only action I'm taking. If you're not going to, okay, well, I said how am I going to better myself? Well, today I said I'm going to meditate. Okay, well, then I'm going to meditate. And then that goes back to what Spec was talking about with the cold baths, really listening to yourself. You say you're going to do something, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, that's the importance of action.
Right.
Yep. Wait up, there's one more. No, that was it. Never mind. That was it. Everything begins and ends with respect. I like that too. Just have respect for everybody. That doesn't really make any sense to me. Why would I not respect somebody?
Right.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. Completely honest. And this is my opinion. So I'll take 100% responsibility over this. There's no reason and there's no excuse for someone to not respect someone else. It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. Like, really, if we really thought about it, we know why people act this way, because of the trauma and the things that, that they're working towards and the obstacles and everything. But once you get past a certain point, you're like, why do I not like you again? Yeah. Why are we arguing right now? Why are we fighting? Yeah. It's like, I was listening to this also the other day. They're talking about like arguments that people were having. You're arguing with somebody, 10 minutes later, you completely forget why you were arguing. Yeah. Like, what? Right. Why were we just arguing? What are we even talking about? I don't even know what we were talking about, but I'm still yelling. What? Why are you still yelling? Because my ego won't let it go. Yes. Ego. external ego, external go. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Letting it go externally and internally too.
Yeah. I took the what's that? Is it Kellogg's? They make the waffles,
Which
right?
ones?
Yeah,
The frozen waffles?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I took their little slang, they're saying, let go my ego, and I just started saying, let go my ego. And I tell people that, let go my
Yeah,
ego,
let go
man.
my
Let
ego.
go my ego.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of ego, you spell it the same way. It's just an extra G in theirs.
Yeah.
So, so let go your ego, man. You
Yeah.
let that go and
Yep.
everything else will start to align. And I realized that I had a huge, like, I still love that song and I listen to it because it reminds me of how not to let it control me, how not to let it out of its cage.
Yeah.
Right? I put my ego in a cage. That's how I metaphorize mine. My ego is finally in a dog kennel. It's got a leash. I finally found a leash for that dog. And I know that it deserves small treats, and those treats help me to be the best version of myself and to manifest, but I cannot let it, like you let the people you see they walking their dog and it's pulling them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to
Yeah.
have control
The
over the
dog's
ego.
walking you. Yep.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So once I learned that, man, I started saying, like, let go my ego. I really started manifesting and bringing about change in my life because, it's it's really, and not to get off track about the song, I'll mention that in a second, but it's really the catalyst of change. That's one of the biggest things I want everybody in the chat, everybody watching, they watching later, whatever. You can watch 100 years from now if this video still exists. Let go of your ego. I promise you that will be the best thing you could ever do in your life, because all the other great things will come after that, and Beyonce and Kanye West have this song, have a big ego, and they sing that song, and I love that song because it reminds me of how big my ego actually was. Like the way the lyrics in the song, it really expounded on how big my ego was, especially being in them streets. And man, that's why I couldn't, because I had a good mind, and so many people be like, man, you smart, man, why do you do this stupid stuff? And I could never really answer them. Now I have an answer for them. It was my ego. I knew better, but I still wanted to go rob this person, or I still wanted to terrorize this person just because I knew that they would run from me, even though they got a gun on them. And now I don't have no gun, but I want their gun, so I'm going to go take their gun. But they run from me, so, you know what I mean? And I'm not able to catch them in time or whatever, and I'm not able to get their gun off of them, but I want their gun. just because I know I can do it. Or I'm going to take their chain because I know that, their dad just got it for him for his birthday. Or he saved up a lot of money to get this chain, or this watch. And I want it now because you shouldn't have it and I should. It was just the ego. At first it was survival. I had to feed myself. I had to, clothe myself. I had to house myself. But then it was just ego after. And so, yeah, let go of my ego, man.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and it's important too for the ego, like how you said you give it treats every once in a while to that's important, giving your ego treats every once in a while, because that allows us to maintain our authenticity. Because if I'm just so, now if I don't give it treats every once in a while, now what is that? That's just another inflated ego. Now you're in a circle again. Now you're back in the loop. Oh, I can't do that because so X, Y, and Z, whatever the reason may be. Yeah, you got to give it treats. You got to be authentic. You got to be true to you. You got to be true to yourself, however that may be. And this could be a diet. This could be, anything, whatever it is. I'm very athletic. I move around a lot. So, I'm allowed to eat Taco Bell,
Right.
because I balance it, because You know, while other people, you know, I grew up on Taco Bell. I grew up on, you know, these fast food places. So now I don't need to be afraid of it. I just need to balance it,
Right.
because my body has adapted to it. I don't need to be afraid of it because, oh, you know, if I'm thinking while I'm eating the food, oh my God, this is poison. Oh my God, GMOs, this is going to kill me. If I'm thinking that as I'm eating it, well, that's what's going to happen. But it's
Mm.
if it's like, oh man, you know, like this is like my dessert. You know, maybe I don't eat a chocolate cookie or a chocolate cake. I eat Taco Bell or whatever, or Chick-fil-A, you know, whatever it may be. We can't. That's one thing. We can't be so hard on ourselves on the specific, particular things that we do. We have to find out what works best for you, for
Exactly.
yourself, for who you are. I can do this, you know, but you may not be able to do that at all. You know, I may be the only person on here that can, I am the only person on here that can eat the way that I eat, that can do the things that I do, because
Right.
then that's what makes me who I am.
Yeah.
So, and
So
that's
see,
important, and that's uniqueness. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I find that interesting. So you don't really get into worrying about GMOs and our foods being toxic and stuff. You don't really worry about that too much.
I do. That was my high school era. My high
Okay.
school era. I was into GMOs. I was into conspiracy theories,
Mhm.
all these things that they do and everything. I still am now. I still am aware of it. Yes.
Mhm.
But like how I said, I'm very particular and specific about the things that I allow myself to happen.
Okay.
Um, so like say I finish a jujitsu session or I get out the gym or whatever. Later on, you know, I may eat my chicken and rice or make a smoothie or whatever. Later on, I may want Taco Bell like another day or two.
Mhm.
So yes, yes, I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking
Let,
it's,
let, let, let me help
uh,
you while you're thinking, brother, because
yeah,
I,
go
I
ahead.
I feel you where you're coming from, and the reason we have to give ourselves treats is because
Hmm.
we will get discouraged,
Hmm.
right? We will get discouraged, like, you know what I mean? Like if you do something, if you build a motorcycle from scratch, you got to look at that motorcycle and say, I did that. I did it,
Hmm.
right? That's an ego treat. That's not an inflated ego, it's an ego treat. You recognize what you're capable of, your power. Yeah, I did that. Just like we came out of the matrix mentally. We got to say to ourselves, man, I did that. Yeah, there was a
Mhm.
lot of help. You
Hmm.
know, we had 19 Keys, Billy Carson, Dr. B. We had Jay Hooks the Great. We had Dr. Sublime. You know, ZEN'S Mind.
Yeah,
We
all of
had
them.
help along the way, and we listened to those, but we did it. If we don't
Hmm.
give ourselves that treat, we will get discouraged, and
Hmm.
that discouragement can lead to a bad place. I've been there.
Yeah, that
Trust
could
me,
set
I've
us
been there.
back, like we were
Yeah,
talking about.
it,
That could
it
be
will
that
set
trip or that
you back
fall.
because your ego will never die. It's immortal, just like you are.
Hmm.
Right? It's the only the body is gonna perish, but our soul, our spirit, our ego, it will always exist.
Hmm.
You just have to find the right leash for it. You know how many times I had dogs, they always broke off their leash, and I'm in the stores hunting for the right leash that just in the right harness or the right, setup or whatever, the lead outside. Shiva broke her lead so many times, man. It wasn't until I finally found it. Okay, I had to wrap this thing around a tree, I had to hook it on itself, and then I had to get this, extra pop. But she was the smallest dog, and people couldn't understand how she would break free. She was smart, number one, extremely
Hmm.
smart, but extremely strong,
Hmm.
right? She still had the strength of her brothers, even though they were twice her size, her brothers and sisters, twice her size. I stumped her growth on purpose, to keep her small because I was in a place where I wasn't allowed dogs, and taught her like sign language. So I could operate with her using just sign language. But when she break her leash, I had to find a right leash for this dog. This is where the saying comes from. Oh, I finally found a leash for this dog. It's a true saying. You have to find a leash. You have to find the right cage for your ego or a leash or whatever metaphor you want to come up with, but you got to get control of that ego. If you're in control of your ego, it will take you to new heights you never thought you could ever go. You know, I never thought I'd be here, you know, but I submitted myself to my spirit. When my spirit says to do something, I just do it. I don't argue. Well, I may argue, but eventually I'm still going to do it. You know, I had the argument about, you know, getting this together, you know, because I was only like, maybe I saw Billy Carson on YouTube. I kept seeing him popping up everywhere. I was like, who the hell is this dude? You know what I mean? He keeps popping up in my feed, and I would never like push play or nothing. And finally, one day I just pushed play. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? So I dug deeper and started watching a little more. Now I was already on, you know, some of the other guys, 19 Keys and Brother Yosef and you know, Brother Yaki, you know what I'm saying? I was already on those guys, but Billy kept popping up. And I was like, what in the hell am I, you know, what's going on in my feed? So I finally pushed play, finally watched him, and I understood some things. And then my spirit said, you need to start doing this. You need to make a YouTube channel. You need to start reaching out, find people that align with you and do. And I was like, what? Nah, man, I ain't well read like these people. I can't, you know what I'm saying? That I was saying I can't at the time. I don't use that word anymore. But I was like, I can't do this. You know what I mean? I'm not able to operate in the same space these guys in. And my spirit was like, just do it. I ain't asked you what you could do or can't do. I said do it. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I started getting going, and I'm in the platform, and I meet the brother Theo, and then Theo introduced me to Kinetic, and Kinetic introduced me to J Hooks, and then man, it just spiraled out of control. I had no more control of it. All I had to do was start the car, and it was already in drive. It was already, the gas was pushed to the metal. All I had to do was start the car. And I was like, man, I don't know nothing about, and I've learned so much gradually since then. So it's actually kind of crazy how my journey began. You know, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time. But I just wanted to mention that, you know, when you let your ego go and you let your spirit take over, it's a beautiful thing. It's nothing, you'll never see it coming, man. I never saw this coming, ever. Not in my wildest dreams. Like having a person like J Hooks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the other sisters as well, but you know, J Hooks was so impactful because he, you know, especially when he went to that first man, what was it called? What was it called, brother?
The Gathering.
The Gathering of the Masters.
Gathering of the Masters.
I want to say God Fest. But you know, when he went there, and I was like, man, I want to go. And I just my finances just was not in alignment with that at the time. So I wasn't able to make it. My grant came like shortly after that, right? After that Gathering of the Masters, I got a grant and everything like that, you know, a business grant. So this is what I do for business anyway. So it was like, oh, I now can take a business trip. And sure enough, you know, everything aligned. And that's how you were able to see me at the last two gatherings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just everything. I never saw this coming, bro. So I'm telling people right now, you have to let go of that ego and give it to your spirit.
Same here.
It knows. Your spirit can see around corners, through walls, into the future. It can drag resources from the past. It's capable of so much.
I've had personal experiences where I was like, wait a minute, this has happened before, 100%. Like the feeling that I get, I'm just like, man, this has happened before. I just can't put my finger on it. I know I experienced this. I know seriously, like I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
So yeah. But yeah, I mean,
I think deja vu gotta be looked into a little bit more.
Wait, what is it?
Deja vu.
Deja vu. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's definitely a lot more to that than what we.
I've always said deja vu is you remembering you're remembering that you remembered. It's like a double. It's a double memory. It's a double remember. You're remembering again. So, and it's like, well, where does? And then a question you can ask is, well, why am I? Who is remembering? If I don't remember, but I remember that I remembered, but I also don't remember at the exact same time, then who's the one that's remembering?
Right.
I also believe that it could be, as we was talking about, different realities happening. I also believe that it could be the same thing happening in a different reality at the same time.
Like a parallel universe?
Yep, like a parallel universe type of situation. Like maybe somewhere else, like I'm doing the same thing, the exact same thing.
At the exact same, like they lined up perfectly.
Right, yep.
Yeah.
I think it's all of that, brothers.
Or a trigger point. Yeah.
It's all that.
Also, it could be a past life regression, whereas you did it before and now you came into this kind of life and you're doing the same thing again. Like, oh, where did I do this before? Because now that's a moment, or say a glitch in the matrix where you did the same thing exactly at the same time again.
Yeah, I believe that too. Yep.
Yeah. It's that Doctor Strange when he's in the Infinity War. He's experiencing all that at once. They're seeing he's looking weird and he's shaking, his head is going crazy, but he's actually experiencing all these trillions of different universes or different scenarios all at once.
Yeah.
So, and we all are doing that. We're all doing that right now.
And remember, Doctor Strange, what crystal did he have?
The time.
He had the green. Yeah, time, but he had green.
Yep.
So it's that green Ethereal energy, which is the heart chakra. So he was resonating at that moment, at that particular time, from the heart chakra. So he was able to bypass all like the restrictions and everything because the heart, nothing can stop the heart frequency.
That love frequency. You know what they say about the love frequency.
Yep, love frequency too. Yep.
I do want to because I know you said you had like an hour and a half, man. I do be respectful of your time for sure. Okay. I just want to ask you one more question about. Cause
I'm loving these questions, by the way.
Thanks. I see you kind of into like anime and stuff like that, right? Yeah, comic books and stuff. Yeah, me too. Yep. What's your thoughts on Avatar, the Airbender Avatar?
Oh, of course you went there. All right. This is okay.
If it's too deep, we could do it another time.
The reason why it's so deep is because I relate Avatar: The Last Airbender to myself. Okay. So all right. So what do I think? First of all, I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. He's the last Airbender, so he's an air element. So Libra is also the air element. Right. So I relate that to myself. So so it's the battle of what it's the battle of 4 elements. So everyone's a master, and you can really see in the cartoon or the anime of Avatar: The Last Airbender, each element master is also a master of that particular part of their brain, of like their spirit in a way. So like a fire is like warrior, right? We know fire as Aries, the warrior spirit, Mars. So they want to fight, they want to settle everything in a fight. So they're very, they're full of energy, full of passion. Air is the same thing, more logical thinking. Water, feelings. Earth, foundation, stability. It's the Avatar figuring out and remembering who he was. He's remembering who he was. He's becoming into the Avatar state, the master of all 4 elements. And what happens when you master all 4 elements? Well, then the 5th element appears, spirit or ether. So now you're master. What's that? 5. There's the 5 again. Right. And 5 is the number of adaptability. 5 is the number of freedom. So so I'm entering my Avatar state.
Yeah, I believe that we all are
Yeah. Oh yeah,
in our own
definitely.
way.
Definitely, because we're all reflections of each other.
Mhm.
And so I'm able to use my personal experiences and I'm able to reflect that to everybody else. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. If I think this, then what do other people think? Well, what if I talk to people that are like-minded and we're able to, that people that want to expand our minds? Well, wait a minute. If I can get this far by myself, how far can I get with the help and guidance of others?
Exactly.
So that's why we're all merging one. We started like this, all in one and the one and all, and then we're collapsing back together. We're all returning to source and to who we are. So yeah, I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think I'm Aang, the main character, because like his logical thinking. Yeah. Oh yeah. That was a great feeling that you had, because that is spot on. That was one of the first things that I deciphered for myself.
Okay.
Yep. So, I mean, I don't. He also actually had a guru too at one point, to where he had to learn to balance his seven chakras. So, so even though he mastered or was in the process of mastering all four elements, that's the external. He had to now work. Now he reached a point to where he was learning to be the master of himself, the internal, because he couldn't reach the avatar state without being balanced with him in himself or with himself. So, yep.
So glad you said that. What are we on this journey now doing? Learning how to master ourselves. We've already been dealing with all the exterior, the gods and the Buddhas and all the other things and the esoteric, but now it's time for us to master self. That's where the ego now comes back with the ego, because if we let the ego have its way, we will never learn how to master ourselves. By learning how to control and govern our ego, we're learning how to master ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and exactly. And also, what's the last element that Aang had to master? Fire. He tried to learn it early, but he ended up burning himself. So he burned him. He not only did he burn himself, he actually burned the Katara, the woman he was in love with. So he hurt a loved one with his power because he had so much power. So what did he do now? So he couldn't master fire until he mastered himself, because he had to do the shadow work with himself. He had to overcome that. That's why he couldn't really activate the avatar state, because he ended up hurting himself, or he ended up hurting the one he loved. He didn't care about hurting himself. He could hurt himself all he wanted. But when he hurt the one he loved, that's when it became an issue. That's when it became a problem. And that's when I was like, wait a minute, this is too much power. Too much is going on right now. Now I got to work on myself. So then he relearned fire, which is the passion, which is Sister Myra talks about how there's 6 axes of energy, where every zodiac sign is the opposite. So the opposite of Libra is Aries, fire. So the opposite of air is fire, Aries. So the last element that maybe I'm learning is, because I'm relating it to myself, because every show you can relate to yourself and develop yourself. So I'm learning my fire, which is my passion, this is my passion. So, talking, speaking, helping, just hanging out, having a good time.
Yeah.
Relaxing, chilling, being zen, chill. We're chilling.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So
we're supposed to relevate things to ourselves. We're supposed to relate, find some relevance in something that we're
you got to, and especially because everything is a reflection of who you are. So even the book you're reading is a reflection of you. The movie you're watching is a reflection of you. How you can relate it to yourself and grow from there. Are you just gonna? This is like some people getting stuck. Well, I see 111. Okay, you see 111, or you see 222, 333. Now what? What do the numbers mean? How are you diving into that? How are you relating that to yourself?
Right.
So, and that's okay. That's a part of being authentic. That's a part of being who you are, your unique self.
Yeah.
because no one can ever, no matter how much AI advances, no matter how much anything advances, nothing can ever replicate who you are.
Right.
It just can't happen. You're too unique. You're your own frequency. You're your own rhythm. It
Yeah.
can't happen. It can't.
Facts. And
So-
you know,
You're
we
in the
may be
universe.
unique, but we're
Yes.
so connected. You know, we need to
Mhm.
learn to not disconnect ourselves from each other. You know, I just want to say this real quick. We always argued about, no, you be Robin and I be Batman, but we can both be Batman. Right? You just do Batman differently.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's why they have different parallel universes of superheroes, of Spider-Man. They're all Spider-Man. You're just from different parallel universes that had different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Different objectives, different, well, not the
Yeah.
same objective,
Yeah.
but different missions.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. How they got there is all different too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What was you,
Yeah,
what was you
man.
cooking up, sister?
Huh?
I said, what was you cooking up in your pot right before I was speaking? You was about to say something.
The thing, even in all of it, everybody's saying it, learning yourself. You understand? And being able to master, like he said, he saw himself
yeah.
in one aspect of it. For me, I am water. So cancer, water, emotions. So for me,
Yes.
I was
Feeling.
I had to master my emotion. My favorite place to go and meditate by the water. I must find myself to the sea or by a lake that is not still, but is moving. And so you can see yourself in everything that you watch, even in Black Panther. And you understand me, or
Yep.
what's the other one? You have to see yourself so you can master yourself. The sad part about it, a lot of it is
That's a good point.
we don't get back into that psychosis of people's opinion of who we should be, where we should be at a particular time, stage, and age in our life. So that can hold you back also. You understand? When you are so codependent on people's opinion. And so with him hurting the one that he loved, made him go within. And a lot of
Yeah.
times, when we hurt someone we love, or someone we love hurt us, it makes us go within. First and foremost, we start questioning ourselves. Was I good enough? What did I do wrong? How should I have done better? How should I reacted, or how should I have responded? So anytime we go through a traumatic trauma, instead of running and becoming fearful, we should take that and say, okay, what do I learn from this? What can I take away from this? So for him, he take away, I hurt somebody I love. Let me learn how to control this power that I have. And for us, a lot of times, one of the biggest power that we have is our words. And if we're not careful in controlling the words that we speak, we could speak, because words, especially the English language, is spell-binding words. And so we must master what we speak out of our mouth, because what we speak manifests and becomes. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's,
Yep. Most definitely.
yeah.
Facts.
That's loud. That's what
Well
been
said,
working
man.
on
I
my
know
part.
anybody else got anything to add? Because I know he.
Yeah.
No, that's it. I'm done.
I want to add something. Can I add something? I want to add something. I wrote this down as Dr. Sublime was saying that. She helped me realize. So I wrote down, you have to recognize who you are first. You're the only one that's going to know who you are at any time, but most importantly, first. If you're not going to accept who you are first, then how can anyone else accept you? Because you have to be the one that accepts you.
Yeah.
Once you accept you, then you'll find the group of people that accept you for who you are, because there's always a crowd or a group or a community for whatever you like, whatever you're a part of.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
Hey, did he just describe the tribe? Yo,
I don't know. Did I?
to a T, like,
Yeah.
man. And we talk about that all the time, brother, because it really is important, man. It's
Yep.
wow. Got to recognize who you are first, and then you find the people that you align with. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yes.
and man,
Mhm.
damn, that's powerful, brother.
Man, I hope you come back, brother. I hope you come
Yeah,
back,
this is
man.
great.
I
This is awesome.
definitely
I have
appreciate
to.
it, you for
I gotta
sure.
come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, please do, man. We, you know, like
You are
as I tell you,
welcome
we
at
will
any
be here every
time.
Sunday, man. So
Yeah.
You
And we
are.
Well, I
listen.
want.
You didn't even get a chance to hear Oracle.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. All
yeah,
right. All right.
yeah.
I want. I want
She
to say this one thing. I want to say this on the record. That before I come back, I need to work on myself first. So I need to start building up my own YouTube, my own podcast. So I'm gonna use that as motivation to where I'm gonna say, okay, once I do this, then I can really start incorporating really, because I had a great time. This is awesome. Thank y'all so much for this opportunity. This is great. This is
yeah,
awesome. This is beautiful.
Coming.
I love this. This is so nice. Having this conversation that we had, these
Yeah.
topics. Yeah, this is great.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Awesome.
so I'm gonna do all that, but then yes, I will gladly come back. Gladly come back.
Awesome.
And wait till
Yeah.
y'all see me next time. If you think, just wait till y'all. Because right now, I'm in like a vortex. I'm in a very important, very pivotal point of my life right now.
Yes,
And
congratulations on your
yeah,
engagement too, man.
yes, that, and just working on myself and a lot of these things. I still we're all growing at all times. We're all on a journey. We're all improving at all points and at all time, and the journey never stops. So
Never
I'm in
stop.
that right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
I just want to say this too. It says a lot about your character. To take time out of everything you got going on and still come and talk with us. So
oh yeah,
double
yeah,
appreciate you
definitely,
for that.
yes, yeah,
yes,
yes.
yes,
Thank y'all.
absolutely. Uh, I had a very interesting way to end the show, you guys, and I I I, I hope. Well, excuse me. I pray that y'all align with this. But I got it written down here. I did my homework, as y'all know.
Hmm.
But I wanted to ask, if it's possible, we do our outros, right? We do our normal tribe outros, and then Zen he ends it off. If you could, please, that's it. And if that's if you got it written down, or maybe you got some other ones written down. But the
Hmm.
affirmations you did on, let me see if I wrote that down. You was with Dr. B and Radio Rich,
Yeah.
and I think it was Blue Pillar. I forget if I think it was them.
Okay.
But you did affirmations and you had ended the show. And I
Okay.
was wondering
Yes.
if you
Yes. I
would give
know exactly. Okay.
guidance in the show. We're gonna do our outros
Okay.
first, and then you end it with, end the show
Oh
with
yeah,
your
of course. I'll say so. I didn't have any. That was that was just off the dome, off the top of my head. I'll say some affirmations. I'll say some words of encouragement.
Okay.
Just give me 2 seconds. I gotta step at this door real quick.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. So what y'all think about that? Tribe,
Yeah, man. You're
Sounds
good. You're
good.
good.
we
You're good.
do
You
our
know, we
outro, our
do.
normal outro, and then let him, end the show
We
for us.
do. We do. Yeah. So we go.
Yeah, yeah. If you
Yep.
want to go, sister, or I can go. It don't matter. Whoever goes
Yes,
first.
it was another powerful Sunday dinner. And thank you, um, Zin, for coming, showing up, and showing out. And family, please find us on YouTube, find us on TikTok, find us on Twitter, find us on Fanbase, find us on Rumble, and find us on TikTok. But today, as we close out, as I close out, be true to yourself and know who you are as you go and as you're on this journey. And as I always say, be gentle with yourself. Much love, family, peace.
Hey, I say.
Ashe.
This is Jay Hooks the Great. Honored to be here today, as always, with my tribe. Even more so honored today to have this special guest. I can see great things for you, brother,
Thank you.
moving forward in the future. And again, I just appreciate you taking time out of everything you got going on talk to us. And I hope our audience that's listening now and listening later was definitely, as always, hope y'all was able to resonate with this information, take something from it. And we're gonna go back to his name again. We gotta stay at Zen, we gotta stay at peace. Your inner peace has to be uh your prime objective. You gotta keep that inner peace no matter what. That's gonna take you a long way. So peace and love until the next time.
Ashe.
Ashe.
So
And I am Speculum Angulo, and I just want to say again, brother, it was great meeting you. I am so privileged I got to meet you in person. I feel honored. I thank you for coming onto the platform. We said over a year ago, you said you was gonna make it, and you made an appearance. So that means the world to me, and it means the world to us, because when people do what they say they're gonna do, man, it speaks volumes for their character, man. So I want to thank you. And as far as my outro goes, I want to make sure I remind everybody, yes, we on Instagram, we on all social media, and whatever we're not on yet, just stay tuned. We'll be on there soon. But keep tapping in, y'all. Make sure y'all remember to smash that like button, please. It definitely helps the algorithm, and more people need to definitely hear this message that we bring in to the world. We bring in glad tidings, y'all. So we love y'all. And again, I'm Speculum Angulo. I am the walking mirror. And as you know, I always say, look in the mirror for the change you want to see, and love your journey. Peace.
Ashe. Ashe.
Yeah, that was great. That was awesome. Thank y'all so much for having me. This was awesome. This was amazing. Definitely, we gotta do a part 2. 100%. Gotta do a part 2. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, I'm gonna close this out. I'll do some affirmations. Be gentle with yourself. I love that, by the way, before we get started. So yeah, so we got to be gentle with each other. We got to be Zen. So let's bring it back to the topic of today, which the topic is Zen, which is balance, which is harmony, which is trusting yourself. And all this is balance with yourself, harmony with yourself, and trusting yourself. So I trust myself. I trust who I am. I love myself. I love who I am. And I know myself. I know who I am. I trust, love, all of this to me. I love myself. I am infinite. I am the creator having a human experience. I am the universe. I am all. I am everything. Everything is me. Me is everything. Everything is me. So together we walk this path together, holding hand in hand, making a circle. And in this circle, it's a loop. And a circle, has no edges. It goes round and around. And we hold each other, we strengthen each other, we energize each other in this circle. So as we grow together, we grow the circle. We grow each other. We grow who we are. You grow who you are. And once we reach a certain point, once we grow to a certain point, we break free from this circle and we go off on our own. On our own, we create our own circle and we start the process again. So we are the creators. We are the ones that energize ourselves. We are the ones that energize everyone else because, like you said, everything is a reflection. I am a mirror of you and you are a mirror of me, just with a little twist, just in a different frequency, just with a different rhythm and a different parallel universe or quantum verse, whatever it may be, however you say it, because these are just words. It's the frequency that matters. It's the intention that's important. Words are spells, but the intention is what energizes the spells. So if your intention transcends higher than the words, higher than the spells, then there's nothing to fear. You know, there's nothing to be afraid of or anything. So I may say the wrong thing, quote unquote wrong thing. There is no right or wrong. I may say the wrong thing to me, but actually it's what I was supposed to say, because now what is it? Now it's a moment, aha, I can catch you. I see where I need to, you know, work on myself a little bit more. So, you know, every moment is a moment to work on ourselves. Every moment is a moment to grow, is an opportunity to grow. And that's what I have to say.
Oh, shit. That was a prayer. I like
And
that.
I meant that too. That was a powerful one on purpose, especially in the circle.
Yeah, man.
So,
Oh, shit.
All right, fam.
all right, peace, y'all.
Peace,
Peace.
family.
Peace, peace.
Hope this one lives up to the other one. Peace.
Yeah.
Peace, babe.